Right. So we've got people coming in already. I'll do my proper intro in a second. Of course you're all here already, Dominic. Of course you are. Of course, super fan. You're all here already, Dominic. Of course you are. Right. Good evening, everybody. Yeah. Well, it's good evening, everybody. Welcome to Contest of Speed Tier 3, live from the virtual version of Le Castellet and the Circuit Paul Ricard. My name is Dan. I'll be your commentator for this evening. I'm back after a week away. Thank you for all the messages of support that I received last week, and for Thomas's minute silence on the Tier 2 stream. That was fantastic. But I'm back and I'm ready to rock and roll. Joining me in the booth this evening, I can't quite believe I've managed to pull him out of his enforced retirement. It's Two-Spell.
Yeah. Madness. Absolute madness.
It's fantastic.
Well, somebody put me in a Williams in Canada. I'm not sure how that happened either.
Oh, they pulled you out of your McLaren, did they? They drag you away.
Orange car this week.
Speaking, no orange cars tonight. Number of absences this evening.
But we've got both Red Bulls there.
We have both Red Bulls and the Sauber of Sergey, who I think will be. I think they'll be between those three tonight. Jacob as well in the Toro Rosso. Don't discount him. And of course Ross, if he has a good race, will be right up there. Right, so what are we thinking for pole position tonight? We're thinking high 29s potentially on the super softs.
If somebody sticks on the ultra softs, they can pop into the 29s definitely.
So it is overcast conditions, so the weather's not going to help them too much. Although it will help with wear slightly.
That's true. It'll be interesting to see if anyone does actually want to go for the ultras, because in my experience they don't last more than 4 or 5 laps maximum.
No, I can't.
At the beginning of the race.
I can't get more than 3 out of them at race pace.
And I like to think I'm quite good with tyres, but I just can't cope around on it.
So you're certainly better than I am.
We shall see.
We shall indeed. So first man on track is, it's either Slick or Thomas. I'm on board with Slick at the moment. As he comes round to start his first lap of the evening.
The times?
Runs very wide at turn 2. That's going to be a lap invalidation.
We've got Perry just starting up, winding up a lap, and he's actually on the ultra, so he's going for a good position.
So, okay, yeah, he's in mode 4 into turn 1. So he definitely is, unless he's got the engine turned down, but runs wide. I think that'll invalidate the lap.
I think the tyre was just about still on the track. We'll have to see if he backs out after this little section.
He might just keep going just to get himself used to the track.
That's true. Very true. Always a tricky corner, that one.
Weather report Raikkonen is dry throughout. We've got an overcast qualifying, and then the race is clear, so bright sunshine. So it will be whoever is quickest. There's no rain to throw a spanner in the works. Perry's got some traffic from one of the Williams, who gets out of the way, maybe a little bit late, but don't think there's too much harm done. No worries, Gerard, we miss you. We'll see you back next week for Austria.
It wasn't Gerard that was possessing the right foot of Vincent Company today, was it?
It might have been. It might have been. We've got Perry coming around the final corner.
He backed off, so yeah, I think you were right there. Backing off, but just trying to get his eye in. 30.5 from Thomas in the Mercedes.
The first flying lap, that's a good...
That was on the supers as well.
That is a good lap, actually. Yeah. The man I want to watch, Sergey in the Sauber, coming through the final complex of corners. He's backed right off his lap, unless he's gone for 2 out laps. Yeah, he's just turned his ERS back up, so he's about to start.
Probably just trying to get some heat into those things, to be brutally honest.
Yeah. Here we go.
Justin with a 30.6, also on supers. In the Renault.
Should be a good battle between those two guys. It has been in the last couple of races I've seen.
Quite a few places to overtake at this track as well, so looking forward to the racing here.
Oh, too well. Dominic has thrown down the gauntlet. He says, tell me what you want to know and I'll see if I can deliver.
Ooh.
What do we want to know?
That's a good question. What do we want to know with this magic stat book?
I wonder.
Who scored the most points over the last 3 races, Dominic? Who's the informed man? There's been some interesting results, especially in the last 2 races.
They have, yeah.
Perry seemed to have it pretty much his own way for a little while.
Well, it was the 2 Red Bull boys from the start, wasn't it, really? And then they've sort of not dropped away, but had a couple of scrappy rounds. Tracer with a 32 flat is now the benchmark soft runner, but I have a feeling Sergey is going to come through and annihilate that. .4 on the soft tyre. What's your opinion, Tooswell, on running the reverse strategy, so soft to super soft? Obviously, the one stop is the quickest way.
Yeah, I'd still say that super to soft is what you want. You want track position because, I mean, you can... It's good places to overtake, but you can lose so much time just being stuck in a little train around the fiddly sections of Sector 1 and Sector 3. You just don't want to. You don't want to be losing that much time to people who are just getting away. I don't think the overlap at the end of the race between somebody on supers and somebody on a used set of softs is that much.
No,
I'd be so bold as saying that an ultra super strategy was probably just as effective as doing a reverse strategy. I'd want to be on a super to soft anyway.
Fair enough. Jacob, see, invalidated that lap and bails out. Right.
Good drop from the Haas driver, Raves there.
Yeah, 31.2 for him. So into P3.
Also on supers. Half a second or so off the 2 lads who top the table at the moment.
We've got Tier 3's Pantomime Villain. Just coming around to complete his out lap.
Oh, I immediately switched to a man who was going down the Mistral Straight there. Mr. Bois d'Abclan, I thought he was the pantomime.
He is. I get my sectors confused around here. Still, I really don't. Yeah, it's bottom pole. Bless him. He plays the part well. He's a good sport.
He's trying to do the strat there of going really slowly around the last corner and launching into a straight line, but which is fine. I'm all for that strat, but I don't get why he's doing it so far on the apex of the corner. Surely you'd like completely run wide of that corner.
Yeah, you'd think, wouldn't you? I think he's run wide at turn 2 as well.
He's still going at the moment. We'll see if he backs off down the straight. Interesting going through here. But it does mean he gets the power on earlier for the straight, so there is a couple of ways to go around that corner.
Yellow in sector 1. I'll be surprised if we get any sort of safety car or VSC tonight. There's no real crashing opportunities unless someone hits each other.
That Dabclan's getting up to 210 mph there. So he's running quite a skinny wing by the looks of it.
Which would explain his unorthodox line through that corner onto the straight, wouldn't it?
I think he's trying to maximise speed on that straight.
That's the one.
At the cost of through the corners. We like a different strat though, don't we?
We do. We like having something off the wall we can keep an eye on. I'm not sure. Oh, Perry's putting a really good lap on the softs.
30.6 on the softs, completely missed by ours. You're getting out of the way of people. Good job.
Sorry everyone for that notification come through. That is Matt coming online. He will be joining us in a moment.
Fantastic.
Normally I'd have all of those turned off, but I've forgotten to do it tonight. Should only be people coming on offline though, so there shouldn't be too many. I don't have that many friends. But we'll see what happens. Sergey's going back out again. I'm not sure what tyre he's on. Super softs this time for Sergey. Ross is out on the super softs.
Lisa is just finishing a hot lap. He hasn't set one yet. He's on the softs though, so we'll see where he goes in relation to his teammate, which we expect to be an interesting battle.
Could be. I would say on out-and-out pace, Perry might be slightly ahead of Racer. So
yeah, maybe.
If we're nitpicking, but 31.7.
Down on him that lap.
He must have made a mistake somewhere. Cause as much as you could argue he is slower, he's not that much slower.
The softs is actually quite representative, despite the fact that we thought it was a bit of a scrappy lap. I think that speed on the straight, that would definitely be something to watch out for in the race.
Yeah.
Most other people seem to be topping out at 206, 207. That extra 2-3 mile an hour could be quite useful.
Could be, especially with acceleration as well. It's not just the top speed. If he can, especially if he gets DRS.
That's true.
Be right up behind people.
Obviously, a skinnier wing, the more effective the DRS drag reduction is.
There he is. You can see him join in the session. It's on board with Ross as he comes out of sector 2. He's the only man not to set a time at the moment. He's out on super softs right now.
Sergey just managing to clip into 210 there, but it takes so much longer of the straight to get there. Sorry to keep going on about it, I'm just genuinely interested by people's top speeds down there, because that is a prime overtaking place.
It is. Well, it's one of the few real opportunities, I think. I mean, obviously you can sling one up the inside into most corners if you're close enough, but Ross with a 30.6 on his super softs.
Top fuel in the pits. Jacob not on a lap at the moment. He's out of fuel. He'll be coming back in. He did a 37 on the softs as well. Boom.
29.8 from Sergey. Fastest lap of the race, of the qualifying session so far, on the super softs.
He throws the gauntlet down. That's his one set of supers, so it'll be interesting to see if he comes into the pit lane and just trundles around on the ultras just in case we need to have them, but I think that's the optimum strategy, super so.
And Ross has retired. That's on track, I believe.
Yeah. No excuse really these days to be littering the racetrack.
No. Unless you blank going through some marker boards and it's to annoy you off.
Especially at this track,
Annoy you
where
off?
you've got
Just annoy
plenty
you.
of space to get out the way, even if you have run out of fuel.
Yeah. We got anybody on a lap who we should be looking at?
We got Jeff Spartan coming down the Mistral Straight, coming at Switcher.
Oh, someone's done his homework.
There he is.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi. I was partaking in other events.
Yes, we're aware of your ignoring of our festivities and partaking of your own
Personal events.
What? Oh, I know. I'm more than aware. It's a good point actually from changing the subject again from Ralkan in the chat. He says Jacob's not that far behind Perry's soft time, and he's right. He's not. There's only Ross in between them. A lot of the guys choosing to start on the softs or trying to, which is a little bit of a shock to me.
I don't think it's the way to go, but I've been wrong many times before. I'm quite happy to be wrong again if it makes an interesting race.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Thomas is going out again on some scrubbed super softs, which might be of a benefit to him, but I'm not 100% on that. I might. He's going to have to go for the undercut.
Well, he's going to need to what? He's going to have. Let's say you can do 18 laps on the softs.
Push, yeah. So he's going to have to get 11 out of. No, 9 even with that out of the supers.
You can usually get 12 maybe, 11 or 12.
Alright, Sergey's not coming out again. He's thrown the gauntlet down. He's not going to have enough time to come and do another lap. The 29.8 to beat it is.
No one choosing the ultra softs, I don't think. Dan Hilton and Millsy's at the back of the field have gone onto ultra softs, but I don't think
is the super softs and is 1.2 seconds quicker than his time.
I'm on board with Thomas at
the
the
low 30s. It could put him on the front row.
Could do. We've got Perry on an outlap on
the sector that
his set of super softs.
He's gonna run out of the RS. And he has done.
Very aggressive turn in there. I love that from Gabcamp. P2, P1.
Oh, great lap!
Sector.
That is aggressive style paying off.
Straight line. Yeah.
Oh,
that
fantastic!
Last corners, I was on board for that. That was absolutely fantastic. The way he whipped it in left and right at the end was absolutely fantastic. The line through the last corner, I don't think I've seen anyone do it better.
Oh, fantastic! Well played. While on pole, also known as Dab Cam.
Keep it out the wall now, and the other drivers.
Yeah. Trace is retired. That'll be in the pits. Raid as well. But Thomas coming through the final corner. I'm not sure he's going to improve. Oh, he does, just
slightly.
I'm watching Perry, but I think he's invalidated his lap time already, and that's on the exit of turn 2.
We'll see what happens.
He's still pushing, I think. Yeah, he's still pushing hard. ERS draining away.
We've got Racer on a lap as well. He's just a little bit up the track from his teammate.
We'll jump to him then.
Messed it up in the chicane there. Perry messes his lap up. Racer still on one.
Perry can afford to mess his lap up. Racer can't really.
Perry
He's got to
start on the soft.
So that Perry's still going to be on for a 30.2. I'm going to put him third, but yeah, you're right. Probably wants to favour the softs.
It's the gear there from Race.
How's Lewis going to do? P4.
Nice.
30.5. Gets himself up there. And now we'll jump to his teammate, who didn't improve.
Very scrappy sector 3.
Or did he improve? No, he didn't improve. In fact, I think he matched his time.
2 tenths slower.
Was he 2 tenths slower? I didn't get the delta pop up. Right, so that's all she wrote for qualifying. Shit, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? Oh, I love it when Tier 3 gives us a good race.
When don't they?
That's fair point. Fair point, when don't they?
Fantastic.
So as you can
postcard,
see,
please.
yes, as you can see on screen, your pole sitter this evening, Bois Pole, also known as Dab Clan, with a time of 1:29.660. Sergey behind him, nearly, well, just over a tenth and a half slower. Thomas P3, Racer P4, Justin 5th, Perry 6th, Ross 7th, Jacob 8th, Dracer 9th, Sygate 10th. Those guys will be starting on the tyres associated with their names on screen. The final runners, that's Slick, Raidcon, Dan Hilton and Millsies will have free choice of tyres. That's P11 to P14, and that rounds out your runners this evening. We've got quite a few missing, both McLarens like we said earlier. Vish isn't here
so
tonight.
Dominic's form guide, it's brilliant at the top. The top 5 races in the last 3 Grand Prix. Jacob 43 points, Sergey 41 points, Perry 40 points, Dresser 38 points, Racer 34 points. They're the top 5 in the form guide of the last 3 races.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Dom, for that.
Perry did miss a race, though, recently. That is... so.
He nearly missed tonight. I think so. Yeah, he was in Monaco. Was he in last week, Matt?
I'm pretty sure he's missed the race quite recently. Oh, someone's already pressed the button. Look.
Sygate, I think. First to press X.
Sygate. Someone did it.
Someone. Perry missed last week.
Yeah.
Maybe Perry is still the form man. What's he going to do on his softs at P6?
Right. And interestingly enough, everyone apart from Perry and Jacob are on super softs. To start off with, so this should be, yeah, it should be, barring any first lap dramas with wing damage, a simple one stop.
The run down to turn 1 from Millsy at the back on board. I just want to see if we can pick up any drama that happens in front of us.
Go for it.
I'm going to watch one of our soft guys. I'm going to watch Jacob. I think that's going to be a key position to watch. I am surprised that no one's tried it though.
What, tried the reverse?
Or even tried the 2-stop.
Well, I wonder if Perry and Jacob one of them might try and go for a long stint on the softs, because they can do the whole race pretty much, and then switch to ultras late on, because I think late on in the race, the ultras can do 9 or 10 laps.
Could do, or they could end up with a Leclerc style problem from Baku, where they could, in theory, go further than they're on that tyre, but they're just going to be losing so much time.
So none of them are going to have wounds me.
Wounds me. But it's true.
I totally agree with you there.
It pains me, but it's true.
The inferior.
Just be quiet, pair of you. I will not have this blasphemy.
I've offered many times, but I can't speak Italian, and apparently saying pizza to everyone isn't productive.
No, I think that you might offend people that way, if I'm honest. Ralcon says Perry and Jacob will be on the podium if they don't take any damage, and he thinks Sergey will take the 3rd spot.
My fun fact from real life would be that Red Bull have never won in France. Obviously they got second with Max Verstappen here last year, and before then their best finish was 6th with Mark Webber in 2008.
They were never here during the glory years of Red Bull, were they?
No, I've got rid of the French Grand Prix, didn't I?
Right, here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lights go out. And we're waiting. We're waiting. We're still waiting. And away we go. All seem to get away pretty cleanly. Sergey's going to challenge Dabclan around the outside into turn 1 though. Dabclan defends well. Sergey takes a wider line.
Oh, contact between Justin and possibly a Ferrari.
Dabclan's got a great start, and Sergey's under pressure from Racer behind.
And Justin is round.
Justin was spinned round. I imagine Perry's penalty for that will be removed.
I would say so.
I don't know though. That was.
Oh, we've got a great battle looking like for 6th at the minute.
Jacob's ready to pounce.
Ross making a move on Perry, and then there's a Jacob behind.
Perry sticks it in there.
Defends his line. There's contact from Jacob on Ross, and Sygate takes advantage. Slick as well. Oh, it's all going wrong.
In all fairness, Jacob was there also trying to correct him as well once he saw him spun around.
He did, and let me see, has Jacob got wing damage? No, all looks good.
Clean on damage at the moment.
I'm riding on board the Toro Rosso.
I'm watching Sergey line up Dabclan.
I'm gonna jump back to the leaders.
Only 3 tenths between them.
Slick and Sygate actually having a fair old scrap in there, and Ross as well. And there's some damage there on one of the cars.
I think it's the Force India. Yeah, it is left front.
It is.
Slick missing the front right of his wing as well.
It is, so we've got damage on a Sauber and a Force India.
And the Force India side gets missing the front left there. I feel sorry for Justin, who's making his way back toward the back of the pack after being turned around going through turn 1 and 2.
But he's made some progress though.
He's catching.
Because everyone else is just fighting with each other, so it's giving him the best chance possible to catch up.
Look at the wing on.
Lining upside, get for a move down the Mistral straight.
Sergey was flat out in overtake mode on Dabclan and couldn't get anywhere near him.
He's running a skinny wing, I tell you, he's all over the back of him on the slow sectors.
Sygate again.
Good move from Ross there. Sygate is wounded though.
Although he's got the toe, isn't he?
Is he going to go for a move up the inside here? No, Jacob going for one around the outside though. Is he going to go for the switchback?
Just not got the grip.
Couldn't quite make it work. Jacob forced wide, and that's allowed Tracer to have a sniff, yeah.
So we'll see how much of an effect having DRS will help with Sergey trying to get past the stupidly rapid in a straight line Williams.
Yeah, we'll jump back to him, we'll go on board through the remainder of the first sector and out onto the straight.
Racer has to worry more about Thomas than he does on that penalty.
Oh, and
he does
Justin's
about the guys
picked
in
up
front
front
of him.
wing damage, guys, sorry. Justin picked up front wing damage. Back to movie.
Oh, it's all gone wrong for him, bless. Here we go though, Sergey with DRS on Dabclan.
Watch this battle for 8, 9, 10.
He's using it to charge his ERS at the moment. He's not going for the move.
He's not. Dabclan really low on ERS now.
Tries to go into Jacob.
Sergey just biding his time and taking the slipstream rather than trying to force the issue.
I think we might see a move on by one of the Haas boys. Redcon maybe getting past his teammate.
Thomas has got past Racer into third.
Oh, careful boys.
Perry's still in the game as well on his soft tyres.
He is in a bit of a
contra strategy at the moment, but he's got track position over so many super softs.
He's got himself a bit of
Really
space.
troubled behind him, is he?
No, he's got himself a bit of space, so it could work out for him.
The wounded Slick is holding up Ross.
That won't be for long.
Grace not trying to get back past Thomas at the moment. Thomas wasting his ERS unknowingly.
Jacob and Sygate and Dracer's there as well. It's going to end in tears, I think, into turn 1.
That plan, saving ERS, not using it for the whole first sector.
Jump back to the leaders.
Dracer's
See
round.
Dracer's round. Oh, I'll jump back to him.
And there's bits of carbon fibre, so who else has got involved with that? I think Sygate's also
Closer than he's ever has been, Sergey, but he's not going to go for it. Still got significantly more ERS than the leader.
He's actually managing to save it whilst sticking on the tail of that Williams.
Ross has got down the inside to slip into the chicane.
Oh no, it's just going to do it in turn. No, he's not. Oh, I'm being attacked by a Yorkshire Terrier. This is what happens when you move to Yorkshire. You get attacked by local dogs.
You get attacked by a terrier, a whippet, and a man with a flat cap and a padded vest.
Oh, God, and a pipe.
That's the one. We're a friendly bunch, really.
Aye, just evil little terrier dogs.
Aye. Send them out.
Alright, I need to put the accent on.
Do be quiet, you.
Sergey goes with the move down into turn 1. Does he make it stick? That plan doesn't
He does.
really force the issue.
Will Dabplan be able to get him back, though, down the straight?
He's not letting him escape. He wants to stay within that second for DRS. I can't imagine Dabplan will just sit behind him there. He'll want to take track position back straight away.
The thing is, Sergey's got so much ERS left. He just stick it in mode 4 now, and even with DRS, I don't think Dabplan's got enough.
I think we're going to get a move.
He's got a 10-mile-an-hour.
Oh my God! Look at that! Oh, and he's hit him.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh, race rabbit outside of Thomas and makes the move. Stick
going up the inside round turn 9.
Who's gonna have the testes? Dabclan does. And he's I think Sergey just about. Do you know? I don't need to battle this. I don't need to fight him.
Oh, Trace has gone
turn
off again.
10 rather, my bad. That fast right-hander is turn 10, not turn 9.
Yeah, the battle for P3 is hot enough again.
For P3, we'll jump back to them.
Race has just got past Thomas.
Dabplan did not want to let that track position go, did he? And they're closer on ERS than they have been. Oh, Dabplan goes wide at turn 2. He completely misses up turn 2 and loses the position unnecessarily.
Sergey retakes the lead. But for how long?
It's nothing but pressure.
I just want to jump on board with Dabplan here.
Perry is still exactly 5.8 seconds off the lead. He is definitely well within striking distance on the different strategy.
And the thing is, the gap between himself and Ross is getting bigger because Ross is using
12-mile-an-hour speed difference between these two cars going down the back straight. It's absolutely insane. Sergey not wanting to let off. He's got the inside into turn 10 this time.
A pair of them getting their elbows out, but Dabplan's now out of the RS charge, so this should be Sergey's.
You say that though. Oh!
Been clean though, it's been clean. There's been a bit of touching, but no actual argy-bargy.
I thought he was going to lose it.
It's a great battle between the two of them, isn't it?
It's on the edge of acceptable.
Meanwhile, Thomas has got past Racer again. Third place keeps him swapping.
What do our viewers think? Dom thinks that was a bit naughty.
He wouldn't be our infamous driver, would he, if he didn't have a little bit of naughtiness?
This could be tasty again this lap.
We'll jump on board.
right behind him. He's got 30% more ERS. He's
going for it.
I don't know why, because then you're giving your opponent DRS. Why would you do that? That to me just screams he wants to get on with it.
Well, if he's got anybody in his ear, he'll know that Perry's still within striking range and is actually closer now than he has ever been.
He's a second closer. And once again, Dadplan's just bombing so much more speed. He just can't do anything about it.
In fact, Perry is nearly in DRS range of his teammate.
I think that'll be a very swift multi-2-1.
Will there be a bit of team orders there from Red Bull? Because at this point in the race, the man who's got the better strategy is Perry.
It is. We're at that crossover point where the super softs will start to get into the same range of those soft tyres.
Gained another half a second on the leaders in Sector 2.
It's already happening.
I think that, yeah, it's already gone. I think because they've been fighting each other so hard. I think those 4 guys up front are gonna get swamped.
You see, if I'm racer right now, I'm thinking lap 9 and stop, and try and undercut someone who sticks to it.
I would do it now. If you're gonna do the team orders,
Thomas
do it now.
Pitts.
Thomas is in. He's going for the undercut.
But they're fighting for a championship as well. Will they get out the way of each other? Will Racer want to give points to Perry?
He's got 6 seconds worth of penalties at the moment, so I'm just thinking long term, just let Perry have it.
Is it worth the struggle?
What can Sergey do with the DRS on Dadplan?
I don't think he's close enough.
He is.
Dadplan's not even using any ERS, or he's using some ERS now. But even with the DRS, he's not got that much of an advantage over him. I'm really impressed with he's gone with a bold decision, Dadplan, with the skinny wing for the top speed.
It's working out for him. It's working out for him. The only thing I would say...
No disrespect to Dadplan, I would say Sergey is a better racer.
Oh, Red Bull's nearly made contact, sorry boys.
Oh, I think I just saw the beginnings of that in the background. They swap over. I mean, they've always traditionally been allowed to race.
Perry.
Only 3 seconds off the lead with the soft tyres.
And that's only going to come down now. That's only going to come down. The boys in front of...
My thoughts exactly. Who blinks first? 2 leaders stay out. It's the second Red Bull pit now. He stays out as well.
I'd stop now if I was Lewis this time round.
What's the pit window? What are we looking at? Because there's some guys still that haven't stopped.
We are looking at
It's between now and lap 12, I think, isn't it, for super softs?
We're looking at around about 23, 24 seconds for a pit stop.
We're going to come out. Have a look.
So Thomas is down to 25.8 now. He's been closing in a little bit on his... he's gone for another set of fresh supers, according to mine.
Yep, that's correct. He's got another set of supers on.
He has, yeah. So he's 2 stopping.
So he's going super ultra, do you think?
I think so.
You can get, say you get 12 laps out this time, so that's lap 21, there's 6 or 7 laps at the end on ultras. That should do it. So the guys, as they pit now up front, they're going to come in between the Dan Hilton / Thomas region, which is now getting smaller because Thomas is closing.
It's closing in on that gap. Slick and Raidcon have changed positions. Is Slick still driving with that wing damage? He is.
So he gets another penalty.
That's 9. That's 9 2-spell for Racer.
And now Sergey needs to make the move. He's saved up pretty much all of his ERS. Dadplan on barely any.
In.
Oh, he gets a bit too close and compromises his own line out of turn 2.
That might have. And there's Perry with 3 seconds. That could play a role at the end of the race.
And remember, Jacob's not too far behind Perry. He's only 5.5 seconds down the road on exactly the same strategy. Let's not discount him.
Thomas has benefited massively from the...
Sergey's going for it. He's into mode 5. Yeah, easy.
Him off.
Easy move.
That plan out of ERS, I think that's his problem.
Thomas has come out 5.5 seconds in front of Racer.
Yeah, Racer to the end.
That's all
now.
from pitting earlier, isn't it? That's the 2-lap advantage he's had by coming in, getting those fast laps in.
Yes, but he does have to stop again, where Racer can go straight to the end now.
Slick's going to fight back.
Sergey's pushing for it. He stayed in mode 5 after that overtake. He's trying to break the gap.
And Sergey, they're going to do the opposite of each other. I'd be surprised if both of them came in, and if none of them came in.
Well, lap 11 I think is the recommended stopping point.
Just watching this battle.
Dabclan comes in.
Just slows it down.
and Slick have been side by side pretty much from the second sector.
And Dabclan, I think, is going to pop out between Thomas and Lewis in 8th and 9th position.
Thomas should get the move done on Dan Hilton.
Slick going for a move on Raidcon into turn 1. Makes it round the outside.
Whoa! Thomas gets that move done, and I'll tell you what, we need to have a collision where the guys forget that the pit lane exit is on the right hand side.
Place.
Yes. Which meant Dabclan nearly wore the front of that one.
Dabclan now probably going to make a move on Dan Hilton down the straight. He's got DRS. Not that he needs it with that wing. Or lack of it.
It's just daylight robbery with Dabclan when he gets DRS down the straight. Absolute daylight robbery.
Yeah, clean through. I'm going to jump back to our race leader. It's coming up towards the pit entrance. Is he going to stop now, or is he going to go long?
Second non-Perry this lap as well.
Yeah, he's used up most of his ERS as well, so he's been pushing hard.
Is this an in lap he runs wide down?
I think it will be, yeah. Yeah, he's coming in.
He only has 25 seconds. He's going to be between Thomas and Dabclan, I think.
It's going to be close on the exit, isn't it?
Calculation, it's going to be close again.
I'll stay on board with Sergey. If you watch Dabclan, see where he is.
Dabclan coming round the final corner now.
So the boys go to work. Sergey's out of the box.
Coming over the start-finish line now.
Sergey's over the limit line. There goes Thomas.
Thomas gets ahead.
And Sergey is ahead of Dabclan.
There we go, but he's going to have cold tyres. Dabclan up to temperature.
The back of him.
So close.
He's going to go for it here.
He's going to make a move. He's going for a move.
Got the worst camera angle in the world.
This is all out for the win.
Which one of them's going to have DRS? It's going to be Dabclan. So that's it's already done. Here we go. He's out of ERS though. That could compromise him. Drace is out.
Drace is fast from the back. What a move there, all the tyres.
Yeah, great move from Dabclan.
He's out of ERS and he's underfueled.
Ah, that might explain it.
Underfueled at this time in the race doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, Drace has retired in the pits. So he must have...
That's true, but if it's like it has been for the first stint, they're not exactly going to be pulling away to allow him to...
We can't let Thomas escape too quickly though.
Oh, contact between Dabclan and Slick there.
They just missed each other. Slick can do his teammate a big favour.
He's holding Dabclan up so much. So Dabclan dives for the inside. Slick appears to release his teammate. And it's as you were, but the two boys out front. That's what we need to keep an eye on.
Now, the top 5 cars are all on different strategies. We've got Perry and Jacob on the super soft strategy. I have a feeling that Thomas is going to pick for ultra softs around about lap 18, 19. Will either Perry or Jacob extend their stint to go for ultra softs as well, knowing that Thomas is on that strategy, just to cover him off?
Well, at the moment they're going to be, if they pit now, they're both going to be behind Racer and in between Ross.
So he's got the move done on Dab. No, he hasn't. Oh, that's elbows out from Dab Clan, and he's come off worst.
I think there's elbows from both there.
Sergey was the car in front. He made the move, and Dab Clan tried to get it back on the inside, but there wasn't the space.
Further down the track, we've got Cygate and Redcon having a little battle for P8. Let's not forget about the other guys in the race.
Yeah, we'll give them all some airtime.
Cygate in the Force India lining him up into turn 10. This will be brave. Gives him plenty of space, very respectful. Back at him, Brave.
The fact he's going on the outside.
Corners.
Should end up with Ray taking the position back.
He's still hanging it around the outside.
Dan Hilton is out.
No!
Is that on track?
No.
That's on track.
Oh, no.
Sergey, 3-second penalty.
That's big.
I'm on the case, gentlemen, don't you worry.
Because Dabbers only has a warning.
Dabbers.
And the two of them scrapping.
Makes contact with him. They're getting their elbows out again at the chicane down in the first straight.
Sergey defends the inside.
He gives him a car switch around the outside, fair play to Sergey there. Driving cleanly. They're on the edge of acceptable, which is fine because it's more exciting for us.
These two have given us a great race to watch. Dab goes for it! Ooh.
How he didn't get any damage there, I don't know. He poked his front wing in there and it could have been anything could have happened.
3 seconds for Dab, just see it pop up.
Oh, he's got 2 warnings on that lap alone, so he was only on 1 warning. I'll take full responsibility for that commentator's person.
Well done, Tispa.
Nothing but honest, man.
Cygate still within DRS range of Raidcon. Is there wing damage? No, he's still good.
The penalty situation up front is very sane.
Jacob is slowly but surely reeling in Perry. The gap between them was, as we said earlier, about 5.5, 6 seconds. It's now 2.3 between the two on the same strategy at the moment.
It is, and Thomas isn't closing in at the rate you would expect him to. Slick's gone.
Where did we lose the second Alba?
Let's have a look. I'll go on board with Millsies. It looks like it could be in the pits, this one. It is indeed.
It was?
Yep.
I've just had some news from the driver's paddock. Dan Hilton had clutch issues. So the clutch wouldn't engage, therefore he couldn't leave the pitch.
Our man Ricky is right there in the chat. I was about to say exactly the same thing. Jacob could very much undercut Perry now. Is Jacob going to take advantage? Only 2.6 behind. If Perry doesn't come in, now is the time where you could start. No, Perry's covered him off. And Jacob does come in as well, so they've gone for the same strategy. So they're definitely going on to the super soft. I think Thomas is going to extend his run. Oh, he's coming in, he's going for soft. Why would Thomas come in so early?
I'm going to keep an eye on Ross because that's where Jacob and Perry are going to eventually come out to.
I'm surprised Thomas hasn't gone for the ultra soft.
I think he came in too early, to be honest,
Yeah,
with his first stop.
I mean, I don't know why he's come in this way around. I mean, he could have extended.
No, I mean his first stop on lap 8 I think was too early. I think
he should have been able to do more than another 8 laps on a
I was going to say, he can't be struggling that much surely on supers.
Yeah, he only needs to go another 3 laps and he can definitely do it on ultras.
Slick had to be. He had to leave the session. No worries, mate. We miss you. We'll see you next week.
This is where he has to get out of there. He has to stay out of that DRS. 1.5 seconds is the lead now. There's a lap pressure tyres. So Ross will be the first one that Jacob. Oh yeah, Jacob would have leaped Perry in the pit lane because Perry had that 5-second penalty from lap 1 for the yellow flag corner cutting incident when everything was going off.
Yeah, well remembered.
That cost Perry big time.
Yeah, but like you said at the time, he'll probably get that removed. Although that might not be enough for him, given that if he gets caught behind Jacob.
Well, Jacob is in. He's got space, so that's the important thing, I think.
He does. He can push now.
The only guy really in front of him, we've got Jacob is now all over the back of Ross, and he's met him at just the right time, I think, because he's going to have an opportunity down this straight at least.
He's too far back.
Yeah. So he is going to get held up a little bit through sector 1.
Not quite close enough.
Right on it was the 5-second penalty that he got on lap 1 for overtaking under yellow flag. Was the reason why Perry was jumped by Jacob in the pits.
Jacob's losing a lot of time here behind Ross.
Yeah.
Perry has gained a second on them in that sector alone just because of the holding up there. He's got to get past him into the chicane.
Into mode 3.
Lead as well.
Close enough already. DRS opens. And I don't think Ross is going to try and fight that one too much. No. Clean through for Jacob, but now, how fast can Perry catch and overtake Ross?
This is a race for the podium between Jacob and Perry, I feel.
I think you're right. Lewis could play a part still.
Is Racer going to help his teammate and championship rival out there when it comes to it?
Ross with a weird line through that corner, earns himself a penalty as a result.
That's 9 seconds for Ross.
Sergey has broken Dabclan's spirit.
He has. He's 3 seconds clear now. And I think Ricky...
Dabclan's got to be concerned now because he's not got that much of a gap to Racer, who's going to be next in line for Jacob, who's catching up at advance rate or not.
Well, we're saying that he's broken his spirit. I just want to point out, Sergey's used up 60% of his ERS. He's under fueled at the moment. Dabclan is now back positively fueled and had nearly had just under 100% charge coming across the line.
Happened. It was 3 seconds over the line. Let's see what you can do this lap. You need to get it back within a second, really.
We'll see what happens. I wonder if Sergey's been pushing particularly hard to try and get that gap.
Because he does need it over this slippery Williams.
Who's getting to 10th in a straight line alone.
There's no slipstream or anything.
That's...
I mean, it's one way to do it.
It is. To be fair, it's worked out well for him. He's on for a good result.
Respect to Dabclan, he's shooting above where we'd expect him to be, really, in this race, and I think that's almost entirely down to the strategy that he's gone for with his car setup.
I would agree with you. I mean, we know how quick he can be. It's just his consistency's often let him down, and when he does pull out a good race, like he did in Bahrain, and how he has so far here today, touch wood, that's not a commentator's curse. Like it was in Baku, where he got that late puncture.
We'll hold you to that one, Danny.
Yeah, it'd be fine. He does put in some good performances, and I just wish we could see more of them because he's definitely got some ability.
Yeah, he didn't gain any time on that lap, and he used a significant portion of his.
Yeah.
ERS.
Gonna have Ross gents at some point.
Jacob gained a second on Sergey on that lap, and that also meant that he gained 2 seconds on Racer on that lap.
There's a couple of gaps that are interesting to keep an eye on. Perry's down under 14 seconds. Ross has got so many He's got 9 seconds worth of penalties and is getting them at such a rate that he could finish 7th, possibly 8th.
Raycon is right back in this with Thomas's interesting strategy. He's only a few seconds down the road from him.
That gap, I'm afraid, too, as well, has been growing in the last couple
there we go.
Jacob within DRS of Racer now.
So much more traction around the slower corners with the fresher tyres. Get past him straight away. He could be a candidate for P2, let alone just the podium.
Well, if he gets up behind Davplan, he's got to get past him.
He's not turned his DRS on. I wonder if he's got a problem.
No, he's in mode 4 for me. I think that's just Codemasters saying that neither of us can see the right figure. He's still in mode 4 for me.
Well, no, rather his flap wasn't open, not the electronic stuff. Yeah. Not the energy recovery. On mine it said his flap wasn't open.
Right, Justin round the outside into turn 1. Good move by Justin on Cygate.
See if Cygate can come back at him though.
Cygate's come back. Well, that was it.
Again, worst camera angles in the world.
They've both just picked up 3 seconds each.
Scrappy there. Ross needs to...
Got a little bit tail happy, that could compromise him coming back at the Force India.
Ross needs to keep the gap to Thomas to try and hold on to his 6th place with his penalties.
Let's see what Thomas is on, let's have a quick look.
Justin going round the outside of Cygate into the chicane.
Sergey 1 warning away from a second.
So Ross needs a 6-second gap to Thomas.
That's his dad plan.
Justin's got the move done on Cygate, took him round the outside of the chicane, and then round the outside again of turn 10.
I know we haven't mentioned it much, but fastest lap at the moment, and the extra point is going to Thomas on 33.2.
Racer has 9 seconds of penalties. The top 3 all have 3 seconds. Perry has no more at the moment, and in theory could have 5 taken away from him, and I think he will. Obviously that's not confirmed, that's just a hunch.
So that would put him... That put him P2. If he can close up.
Yeah, he's going to put in...
Nearly.
I know he's his championship rival, but Racer has to get out of the way. He's his teammate, he's got a million years of penalties.
I think he will this time around.
Yeah, it could put him P2. And you know what, if Sergey picks up another one, it could put Perry P1.
So Thomas with 3 seconds, that helps Ross.
I can't see Racer dropping too many positions if he loses one to Perry with his penalties. He's got the same as the guys behind him. If not, they've got more, and he's got that 3 or 4 second gap, so he should have net P5 covered off.
Oh, Perry does have 3 seconds.
Perry does have 3, yeah, he does have 3. There's a stop go on that one.
And this I think is where we'll see the multi-2-1.
Potentially to take off, which
Dabclan, 3 seconds.
It's put him up to P2, as it is, he is a net P2 as Perry.
And you can make a guess where he's picked that one up on.
And he's a net 5.8 seconds off the lead as far as... because there was a lot of yellow flags just going on and everyone was in the middle of overtaking them.
I've just been on the perspective of Dabclan for that first sector, and that was a horrible first sector.
He's struggling on those tyres already.
Yeah, he didn't take any corner with the right line whatsoever.
Dabclan's struggling, Sergey's struggling as well, because I mean over the last 4 or 5 laps it's only been half a second that he's lost.
I think because Dabclan's pushing, that's the thing, in high ERS mode he's got 2% left.
He knows nothing but attack, that boy. That's what we love him for. Yes. Sygate going for a move on Justin. The P9 makes it, gets it done, and then defends.
Justin lunge, late lunge from the Renault man. This is like round 5 or 6 of a boxing match between these two.
It is.
Answers on a postcard. Can Perry get within 5 seconds of the lead?
Yeah, he needs
5.5.
Yeah, he needs 5.5 because obviously Sergey's got the same corner cutting or exceeding track limit penalties. Here's Perry. I've got 3 seconds.
Let's give the man who turns up.
Justin's coming to the pit lane.
Justin's in.
Quite close.
What for? Oh, I wonder if he's going for fastest lap.
Oh, he's miles ahead of the he's going for fastest lap, surely. He's going for a bonus point. Fair play.
Yeah.
Play the system.
Well, I wonder if Sygate will do the same next time around.
Sorry guys, Jacob is currently P2 by 0.7 seconds.
Yeah. He's closing in as well all the time.
Sergey gets his second penalty.
Ross is retired. Where is that?
It's on track.
On the exit of turn 10, I think he's lost it. I think that's just a slide there.
Yeah, it's on the right.
Yeah,
He's
stricken Ferrari on the inside wall just after turn 10. He must have lost it quite early in turn 10.
Just look at it on the right hand side here for the stream. You can see it against the wall.
Now then, can Jacob close it down? Because he's got a chance now.
He has. I'll jump back to him in a second, but I want to just give a shout out to the man who will take the 10th place and the final point.
Because he always sticks with it.
He does. He sticks in the race. He always finishes, unless he ends up in the walls for some reason. He always keeps going. He always tries.
Because of that penalty for Sergey, Perry is only 2.6 seconds off the lead.
Yep.
Potentially.
No. Bear with that.
Well, Perry, if we took 5 seconds off, that's 5.7.
And he takes 3 off as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2.6 seconds off the lead.
2.6 seconds, it's so close.
There you go, Jacob's within striking distance, under 6 seconds now.
Yeah, Jacob is only 3 tenths away from being 5 seconds ahead of Perry, which would save him from... Oh, Perry slides in the final sector.
Oh, and again. Whoa.
He's caught it, but that's
really
put him
on the edge there. And now he's 5 seconds behind Jacob.
Super
who's been slowly going on about it. I think he knows about this penalty situation. He's just trying to get it back, but as it stands now, Jacob is our de facto leader. With 3 laps to go.
He's all over the back of Dabclam.
He doesn't want to lose time to Dabclam, that is as delicate as it is with the gap to Sergey.
Although, I don't know how you're going to pass him in a straight line because that Williams is mega quick.
We'll find out now. We'll jump on board with Jacob. He's going for it. It's mode 4. DRS is open.
Better run.
He's got a fantastic run.
He had such a better exit through that corner.
Not even fighting it, definitely. Jacob keeps the 5.1 seconds. Surely he's on his way. We can keep it clean.
So Perry's a net P3.
Perry's going flat out and he's not closing. In the chat, apparently he just can't close the gap.
Right then, Jacob, what have you got?
See what he's made of.
2 seconds in 2
laps
laps
to go. Looking at he's got it, hasn't he?
Let's see what happens.
Well, is Jacob penalty free?
Jacob has got 3 seconds worth of penalties. And Sergey's got 6, hence why he needs to get 2 seconds.
That's true, yeah, no, miscalculated that one, yeah. You've got to get 2 seconds, you've got to get within seconds of him. Eminently possible.
2
but he
seconds.
only gained a couple of tenths on the last lap because he was dealing with Dab Clan.
Yep. And it's getting to the stage where those super softs aren't really going to have much performance left in the tank.
I don't think he's going to do it because look who's in his mirrors.
It's Mr. Straight Line Speed.
The drag specialist himself.
Is he going to do it? I don't think he's close enough to really have a go yet.
He's got no ERS either.
After 4.6 seconds, Sergey's got to keep it clean.
It's going to be interesting to see where the midfield runners are going to finish. Likes of Racer and Thomas.
And it's Justin's fastest lap.
Justin gets his fastest lap.
Thomas loses the point.
Big slide from Jacob there, he clipped the painted edge.
He's not getting it, is he? He's only gaining a half a second if that in one lap.
Yeah, I think it's going to hold where it is. I think the Supers are just reaching the end of there.
He has a lot more ERS left for him than Sergey.
Here we go. Hold on to your hook. Hold on to your
1.5 seconds, one lap.
I don't think he can unless Sergey makes a mistake.
Let's go on board with our leader, pressure's on him to not make a mistake. Had a brilliant fight in the first half of this race with Dad Clan.
Jacob's just
He's very low on fuel as well though.
But he is, he's gonna... It's coming down, it's gone three tenths in the first sector.
That's with a slide as well. From Jacob. Come on, you've got 3/4 deployment left in this lap, come on.
Jacob's got to be pushing hard.
Surely Jacob's got to stick it in hot lap now, he can make it the rest of the lap in hot lap.
It's not happening. He's not.
Why would you want to finish with excess? Never mind.
Sergey's giving it everything he's got. I don't think he's got any fuel left. But it's how close to the line he goes into low fuel mode. If he does at all.
It's going to have to be a mighty sector 3.
We're on board with Sergey.
Able to do it on the super softs.
With one corner to go. He rounds the final bend. Powers for the line. And Sergey will win the French Grand Prix for Tier 3. Jacob comes home in second. Dab Clan third. Perry will come home fourth. But with that, we'll probably jump
EU3.
to third. Lewis crosses the line in fifth. But I would imagine he's going to get leapfrogged by Thomas. And does.
Get maybe by the hash, I'm not sure.
We'll soon find out. Raycon's got a fair few as well. Not enough. Raycon finishes P7. Cygate will come around to take P8, and then we've got a fair wait for Cygate, and then another one for Justin.
In the end, after running P3 for a long time, finishes 6th.
Difficult race, I think, for Lewis, I feel.
Let's get the top 4 in.
Top 4. Sergey I don't think has a mic, unfortunately. I think it's a bit of a hammy situation from last year.
Knows how to use a microphone.
Yes. So yeah, we'll get Jacob, Dab Clan and Perry in for a bit of a chat.
Congratulations to our racer and our Sergey holding on there.
Indeed, he's did a cracking job. Driver of the day, chaps, who do you think?
I think Dad Clan to be it really. He's finished a lot higher than I'd expect him to with the talent around him. Yeah, he's quick, but he's put together a full race there and a lot of that was down to a very intelligent choice of car setup, I feel.
Yeah, I took the fight to Sergey, and we know how quick he's been since his introduction to Tier 3. Didn't make it easy for him whatsoever, so yeah, I'm too throw here.
Dab Clan. Let me check the chat, see if anyone there has had a suggestion.
For a possible mention to Jacob who used the alternate strat.
Jacob's had a vote in chat. Yeah, Jacob's had one vote in chat. If anyone else has a suggestion, put it in the chat now. We'll hold off awarding it officially until interviews are done. But look at those penalties! Yeah! Sergey finishes first in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. That's finally some points for us. Jacob finishes second, only 9/10 behind after penalties. Dabclan third after a fantastic race. Perry in fourth, Thomas fifth, Racer in sixth, Raidcon seventh, some good points for Haas, Cygate in eighth, Justin ninth, Millsy's rounded out your finishers and point scorers in 10th. Following on from that, Ross was P11, Slick P12, Dan Hilton P13 and Dracer P14 to round out your drivers this evening.
The chat has spoken.
The chat want Jacob.
The chat want Jacob. The chat want Jacob, so I shall bow to their wishes. And I shall award it to Jacob. So let me get these boys invited for their interviews. So we want Dabclan, we want Jacob, who's not appearing online, Tisk Tisk, and Perry, where
especially.
So we'll just wait for some of the other guys. And then we'll get this stream wrapped up with some interviews. If the others decide to join, we might as well start anyway. So, Davclan, what wings were you running in that?
1.9.
1.9.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it'd be. I thought you'd have a lower rear wing.
Daddy pinching that set for tomorrow.
No. I don't have time to change it and get used to it. So you seemed really quick in a straight line.
Yeah, I think it was more. I wasn't quick. I think me and Sergey had the same straight line speed. It was more like I was getting a better exit off the corner.
Oh, no! You had a good 12 mile an hour in a straight line. It was impressive. It was daylight robbery every time you were in behind him.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I was doing like 206, 7.
He was coming down the straight a few times, and you didn't have any ERS on, and he was on overtake and had DRS, and he still wasn't coming past.
Yeah. I guess it was really slippery. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I guess it was, I stole this setup from Lego Minecraft, so.
Oh, name dropping.
Kyle, if you're watching, I think a lot of people do it.
Oh no, you have.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
No one will be overtaking anyone in Tier 1 because everyone will be running 1.9 now.
Yeah. So, just give us an insight into your battle with Sergey at the start of the race and that first stint.
I was scared.
Yeah?
I was just scared every time he was behind me. I was like, oh shit. Like, he goes by, he's gonna get like a 10-second lead by the end of this lap, so I was like, I was defending as hard as I could, and it was a little bit of a contact. That was a pretty not very good move when I went for the really big dive, but yeah, I was just a little shocked by the warnings I was getting through turn 1, like because the sun was straight in my visor, I couldn't see anything coming out of turn coming onto the straight after turn 1, and it's like I kept going wide, which gave me penalties, and I was just so mad at that. And there was a little move on Sergey, but I love when we had like I was around the outside, he was on the inside, and went all the way around after the big straight, which was really fun. And yeah, very clean.
I mean, we were watching in awe with the pair of you battling away to the point where we had to drag ourselves away to give everyone else some airtime.
Yeah.
But congratulations on your podium finish and on a brilliant drive. Okay, let's move on to the man who finished second. So I know he's here. I saw his name pop up.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing, Jacob? How was that for you?
Good fun. Good fun. Enjoyed it. Yeah. Bit of a shocker at the start, but after that, it was quite fun just going past people, really. Yeah.
So we were watching you and Perry's races actually with a fair amount of interest, seeing that you were on the alternate strategy, like the inverse.
That wasn't out of choice, really. I did a lap on the softs in qualifying, and then realised I needed the toilet pretty badly halfway through the session, and I couldn't get back in time before doing a lap on the supers. So that just happened.
Well, you made it work. Either way, well played.
Well next time we need to get someone to lock you in the porta cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put you a screen up on the back of the door.
Multitasking.
Turn it round so it's facing the wall of the door.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Do you think your penalty could have been avoided, and then you would have maybe got the win, or?
I think it could have. I was a bit flustered at the start of the race because I was on the softs. I lost a few places at the start, and then I got the warning saying my DRS wasn't working, so it wasn't working for the first 6 laps. So I got a bit flustered, a little bit on edge, and then I, ran wide a couple of times just because I was a bit annoyed about the entire situation. So probably that could have been avoided if I just kept cool a bit more. I'd also like to give a shout out to my buddy Sam, who's listening on the stream right now. If that's all right.
Go for it.
He's been there supporting me through thick and thin, and I just want to dedicate this second place to him.
Oh.
It's adorable.
It is. Sam, put a comment in the chat. We want to see you. He might have been the whole race, and I haven't noticed, to be honest. I'll look back.
No,
I don't think he has.
I don't think he has. But yeah, I mean, I hope to have given Perry a bit more of a race, but I think he got a bit of an unfair stop-go penalty midway through the race.
Yeah, he did towards the start. Yeah.
Lap 1, yeah.
Apart from that, good race, and I feel like I've been on a good run for the past few races now, and
Jacob, you're welcome.
May that continue.
I'll let you by on this straight. I didn't want to lose any time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You've also been given driver of the day as well, Jacob, by the masses.
Brilliant. I mean, that's better than a win.
It's in fact, I think it's an overwhelming majority.
Love it. Thank you to all the viewers out there. Cheers.
Yeah. So congratulations on your P2.
Thank you.
And is he here? Yes, he is. Perry's here. Our championship leader. We saw you go out on your super softs towards the end of qualifying. Did you make a mistake on that lap, or did you bail out to choose to start on the softs?
Well, I did make a mistake going through the chicane. I got just a dreadful exit and got on the power too early, lost the rear. I almost still posted a faster lap actually. I definitely lost close to a second doing that. So it wasn't the goal, but I felt like at the same time France is one of those tracks where if you do start on the softs, and luckily I did a banging lap on the softs, so I did start relatively close to the front, and I had clean air throughout the race. And the first lap, I just went off a little bit, and I was going to go off regardless, but right at that point, Justin, Justin went on the inside of Thomas and made contact, and he spun around. And then that like one little incident, I went off the track is the time I passed Justin, and it gave me that illegal overtake. And at first I was like, okay, it's just going to be a 3-second whatever, and that gave me a 5-second stop go. So I knew that was coming, and I knew that would probably ruin my ability to catch back up in the supers. But yeah, I just tried to stay clean. Obviously got a pretty decent, I feel like I've got a decent point lead. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure to secure the points at the end. And Jacob, honestly, I think in the long run, Jacob would have probably had me because I had a good qualifying lap, and he got caught up in some action early on. But I think overall he probably had better pace than I did throughout the race. And obviously, I think Sergey and Datplan were in their own kind of league for the most part. So yeah.
No, well said. It's as far as damage limitation goes, I don't think it was too bad of a job from you tonight. But is it just a case now move on to Austria, try and get back on the top step?
Yeah, and Austria will be a wild card race for, I think, the top 7 or 8 of us. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So, yeah, that should be a lot of fun. It's I think of it as the Bristol of Formula One, if you will. So it should be gloves.
A track I can finally beat Sergey at in a race. I can finally think of beating him. It's way too quick on this track. I couldn't keep up at the end. First I backed off to save some tires, and then I was like, I'm a push, and he just kept pulling away. I was like, oh shit. That's got another hand.
No, the lad is quick.
Jacob behind, which didn't work.
Yeah. No, the lad is really quick. And he's going to have to be favourite, I think, going into Austria, but you boys, I'm certain, will give him a good challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love my qualifying lap. He was really quick in quali as well.
Yeah. Right, so I think we'll wrap it up there, unless anyone's got any more burning questions.
Nope.
No, I think we're good.
We're good. Right. So thank you, you three, for joining me for an interview. Thank you, Two Spell, for being our guest commentator.
No problem.
Cool. And finally, thank you all for watching at home. We look forward to seeing you next week, 10 PM UK time. On Monday, we will be live from Austria. But if you can't wait till then, and let's be honest, how can you? Tier 2 will be racing tomorrow, and Tier 1 will be racing on Wednesday. That's again 10 PM UK time. We look forward to seeing you all there.
In my orange boy.
He will. Two-Spell will be in his McLaren.
Those corner cuts tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well.
Don't you pin anything on me?
These tier 2 guys, man, they cut every corner. Telling you, Perry.
Wow, you got tier 2 cutting every corner, tier 1 crashing into each other.
Yeah, I told you, tier 3 are then argue with each other afterwards.
Oh, I do love the popcorn in tier 1. It's certainly
it's glorious, isn't it, sometimes?
That respect.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a back seat and watch it all unfold and love and life. That's what tier 1 sounds like.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyway, we appreciate you all for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.